You know, every single click, every transaction, every little log file, modern applications are creating this absolute explosion of data. It's an incredible resource, for sure, but how do you turn all that chaos into a clear signal? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into how Amazon Redshift helps you find those powerful insights hidden in all the noise. Just think about it. You've got data streaming in real time, from services like AWS Kinesis. Every single user interaction, every sensor reading, it's just this constant, high-speed river of information. And yeah, capturing it is one thing, but trying to make sense of it all as it's flying by, that's a totally different challenge. And it's never just one stream, is it? You've also got serverless functions like AWS Lambda, spinning up, doing their jobs, and each one is leaving behind its own little trail of data. So now you've got another separate stream, just adding to all the complexity. And then you have your central data lake, which for a lot of us is built on Amazon S3. This is where we dump everything, structured customer records, unstructured photos, huge log files. It's an amazing repository, no doubt, but it is just not built for the kind of fast, complex questions we really need to ask to get answers. So that's the big problem, right? Your data is literally everywhere. Each little piece tells a tiny part of the story, but how in the world do you bring it all together to see the whole picture? How do you connect those dots? Well, that is exactly the problem Amazon Redshift was designed to solve. So stop thinking about scattered streams and lakes and start thinking of Redshift as your central warehouse. It's a place specifically built to pull all those different sources together so you can do some really powerful analysis. Okay, so what even is a data warehouse? It's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a central system that's designed to hold massive, and I mean massive, amounts of data from all those different sources. But here's the key. Its whole purpose is for reporting and analytics, for asking those big, tough questions. This brings us to a really important term, OLAP. It stands for Online Analytical Processing. Now, I know it sounds super technical, but all it really means is the kind of deep analysis businesses use to find insights. It's the whole reason data warehouses exist. And hey, for anyone studying for an exam, this is a huge tip-off. When you see OLAP, your brain should immediately scream Redshift. So how does Redshift actually handle these gigantic analytical jobs? Well, its secret sauce is something called massively parallel processing, or MPP. Instead of having one computer chug away at a huge query, Redshift is smart. It breaks the problem into tons of smaller pieces and gets hundreds of computers to work on it all at once, in parallel. It's like having a whole army of analysts instead of just one. That's what lets it handle petabytes of data. And since it's a fully managed AWS service, you get all that power without the headache of managing backups and all that, while it easily plugs into all those data sources we mentioned earlier. All right, now that we get what Redshift does, let's talk about the two main ways you can use it. You've got two main flavors to pick from, the classic provisioned model and the newer, super flexible serverless option. This chart here really breaks it down. With the traditional provisioned model, you're the one in the driver's seat. It's perfect if you have a stable, predictable workload, because you know exactly how much horsepower you need, and you manage the cluster. But on the other hand, Redshift Serverless is a total game changer for those unpredictable workloads. Think about a retail company having a flash sale. With Serverless, Redshift just automatically scales up to handle the rush and then scales right back down when it's over. You only pay for what you actually use. And the best part? Zero infrastructure for your team to worry about. So that's all the techie stuff, but why does any of it matter? Let's take a look at how Redshift actually solves real problems for real businesses. This is where it gets really cool. Picture a delivery company. They are constantly pulling in real-time data, traffic updates, weather alerts, new orders just popping up. All of this is flooding into their Redshift warehouse. So now, their logistics team can run these super complex queries in seconds, analyzing all of those variables to find the absolute best route for a driver right now. That's operational analytics in action, making smarter, faster decisions that have a direct impact on the business. And its power goes way beyond just logistics. Redshift is the engine behind countless business intelligence dashboards, turning all those raw numbers into charts that you can actually interact with and understand. It's used for unbelievably complex financial reporting, where you just can't afford to be slow or wrong. And, this is a big one, it can query data directly in your S3 data lake. That means you can blend your super structured warehouse data with raw files without having to move everything around first. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. If you happen to be studying for a certification, you're going to want to pay close attention to this next part. Let's boil everything down to the absolute essentials. All right, let's lock these connections in. For any exam scenario, if a question mentions a data warehouse or OLAP workloads, your very first thought should be Amazon Redshift, period. Now, if it adds that you need no infrastructure management or it's for unpredictable workloads, that's your cue to zoom in specifically on Redshift Serverless. Got it? These are the core ideas to remember. So, we've seen how Redshift can truly tame that data chaos, bringing it all into one place so you can finally make sense of it. But this technology, it isn't just about storing data. It's about giving you the power to ask bigger, smarter questions. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Now that you can connect all the dots, what's the first big question you would finally be able to answer?